Hi there. I am David, if you haven't watched one of my videos before, and I'm back this time with another short video, this time looking at some pop filters. I am looking at the Hook Octo and the IsoPop Broadcast. So, let's pull up some of the details and I can tell you about them. So the IsoPop Broadcast is from the company that supplies IsoVox, otherwise known as the box I stick my head in when I record. It's designed for broadcast and podcast microphones, and it comes with two filters, a neutral one for what they call ultra-transparent sound, and a DS one for softening harsh, in fact, sibilance. In practice, that means the neutral one looks like a fish tank filter, and the DS looks like something you use to clean your plates after you've eaten. They are, in fact, washable. As for that, it is apparently universally compatible with front address microphones. I say apparently for a good reason. Up against that, we have the Hook Octo, which is from the Hook Studios. It is a double layered metal pop filter. It has some very tight rubber bands, meaning it's kind of mainly designed for the smaller microphones, the 19mm ones. And in fact, that is what I have tested it with. So I am running these through a couple of plosive tests, as you will shortly hear. I'm doing it with the Sennheiser MKH416, which is a standard width of 19mm. That's fairly standard for shotgun microphones. Just to run you through the prices, the IsoPop Broadcast is £78 in the UK from Thomann. The link is in the description, and $99 in the US from B&H. The Hook Octo is a bit of a different kettle of fish because it is actually slightly more expensive in the UK. It's £84 and only available on eBay. But in the US, it is $65, so significantly cheaper. Again, that's from B&H. So, here's the tests. Poppity pop, 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 poppity pop, 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 pop. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Here is Edward Bear coming downstairs now. Bump, bump, bump. Here is Edward Bear coming downstairs now. Bump, bump, bump. Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh. Pooh, 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 pooh. And it's getting round the side of it. That's poo, 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 poo. Poo, poo. Too near. Poo, poo. Winnie the Pooh. So what are my conclusions? Well, the IsoPop works. It works effectively. It's the one I usually reach for. It is small and narrow, which is good. It doesn't get in the way, for example, on camera, but it still works on something wider. It works perfectly, for example, with the Electro Voice RE20, which is a very popular microphone in the United States. And in case the elastic gets stretched out by a larger profile microphone like that, it does come with spare elastic bands, and the elastic bands are removable for a start, so that's great. That means, kind of there's no wearing it out. I also like the fact that it comes with two filters. However, it isn't a huge however, but it is, in my opinion, not tight enough on a 19mm microphone. So it is not tight enough on my Deity 3S, it's not tight enough on my MKH416, it's not tight enough on my NTG5, because they are all 19mm microphones. The solution I found for that is twisting round the rubber bands, so effectively they're kind of in an infinity symbol shape, but it's a bit of a pain. It's also bulkier than the Hook Octo, significantly so, especially if you need to store the second filter too. But it is still much smaller than pretty much any normal pop filter that I can think of. The Hook Octo, I love the size. I mean, I really love the size. It is so small. It is so light. I feel like it's almost designed to work with the ridiculously tiny Dirty 3S that I love because of its size. And I was very pleased that, to my ears at least, it doesn't sound metallic, which is what I feared would happen. I haven't actually used a metal pop filter before this, and I was concerned about the sound, especially if there'd be any interaction with the fact that the two metal layers are very close together. On the other hand, what I don't like is it is so overpriced in the UK. I wouldn't have bought one, honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that I wanted one to review. It's a much better deal in the United States, so it's much harder to make a recommendation over one over the others. But certainly in the UK, I would recommend the IsoPop Broadcast over the Hook Octo. The other problem with the Hook Octo, and this will be dependent on kind of how good you are at avoiding plosives in general, but it certainly allows pops past it in certain circumstances, as you can hear. It almost seemed to guide the pop around. I felt like I was talking. The pop took a 90-degree turn, dodged and jinked around the side of it, and knocked straight back and headbutted the front of the microphone. Bit annoying, to be honest. So that's that for this short video. If you come back next time, I will be talking a lot about compression, serial compression, standard compression, downwards compression, upwards compression, parallel compression, and leveling instead of compression. Hopefully I will see you back for that. It's going to be a good video. See you soon.